What's up, guys? Jake from Team Ultra Instinct here with David from Team Ultra Instinct here. We're going to bring you the 3 new starter decks that just came out today for set 10. So David here is going to start us off with the VJX or VEGX. Maybe always butcher it.
Yeah, I say VEGX.
So go right into it.
Yeah, so right off the bat, we're just going to talk about the leader that comes with it. We have the VEGX leader. This leader is all about the hype and the meta that's coming up right now. Unawakened side, I mean, it's just a burst 5 leader, draw 1. But don't worry about the burst 5 because on the other side it's insane. But if you have 20 or more cards in your drop, you can awaken, and then you have to take cards until you're at 6 life. And then I believe you can do it if you're at 4 life as well. Yeah, 4 less life as well. It's an untap 1, draw 1 leader. This side of it, it's another burst. I don't know why it doesn't say burst, honestly, but it's draw 1 card and then place 5 cards from the top of your deck in the drop area, and then give one of your unison cards a double strike. And then, so the sparking 20 is the big thing here. So if you deck out when you have sparking 20, you just shuffle your whole entire drop area back in. That's insane. He feels insane engines right now. It's just a bunch of free plays off of the mill. So even the unison is free plays, and I'm surprised the unison of the deck actually only comes in foil. Wasn't expecting that. But you
one's
have
like that shimmer foil.
Oh yeah, so one has the gold
normal
print foil and one doesn't.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. I didn't notice that. But so he can free play if your leader is a black sand. So and then you mill him from your deck.
Free play. That's
just
basically
free play
what the engine of the deck does.
Yeah, it's just free play. But he's only a 5k, so I guess that's the way they're balancing the fact that he's a free play. But, so when you're playing him off the mill effect, he only comes in with 1 of the markers on it. But his activate main is you are +2ing it, so I guess that's, I don't know, that kind of sucks. But I'm not a big fan of the +2s because I think it's a little dumb right now. But
There's no big marker removal.
Yeah,
It's
there's
only
no
just
big marker.
1.
It's -1. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, yeah, you can attack it and they can't combo, but they can still negate. So that's what balances some things. But he gains 10k power if you discard a card, and then his activate main for his -4 is he gains 20k power and dual attack. So with that, with the leader giving it double strike, that's
It's 25k
double strike dual attack for free. And, yeah, it's literally just nasty. But then right after that, we have the Vegeta, and he at least balances out with the U3 stuff that we have. So 1 foil, 1 non-foil. But if you were to do him with Viara, it does not work because Viara needs the card to go to the drop or the warp. I can't remember what it is, but he has a replacement effect. And what it does is he goes to the warp. Yeah, I think it was to the drop area.
Yeah, it has to be to the drop.
Yeah. So he has a replacement effect that makes him go to the warp instead, which cancels that out. So it's nice that at least happens, but it's the fact that he's a 4-drop and he's a 19k. And he also has removal built into him, and the fact that you can play him for free when you mill him from your deck, just like your other cards.
And a free play for the VJX.
Yeah, exactly, and VEGX just works with it too. And it's a little dumb how good they made this starter deck, but actually the starter deck itself looks kind of weak. I mean, it still works.
It's probably the lackluster one out of the 3.
Yeah, it's just, there's no large finishers. I mean, you have 4 of the Shampas in there, but past that, there's no really big finishers aside from your Unison and your 20k vanillas. But then there's this Trunks. He has unique. I forgot to mention that Vegeta also has unique. So you can only have 1 of them in play at a time. He has blocker. He does work with the 3-drop U3, so keep that in mind. So that's a free 15k, I believe he is.
Yep.
So mill, you play him for free, and then you can take a life when you play him. You don't have to though. Card's pretty solid. Another VJX target. And then this Cronoa does not have unique or Supreme Kai of Time. I think this is a little dumb because it's literally just free combos. So if you have 5 or less cards in your hand, she gains an extra 5k power for her combo. And I think that's a little crazy because there's just 10Ks on board if you get to that point. And then her auto is if you have a black Saiyan as your leader. It's just free play if you mill her.
Basically, it's all free plays.
Yeah, I think that's a staple 4 of in the deck along with the other guys. It's just free plays.
Oh, yeah.
And then you get your 4 Shampas. Double strike. I mean, it's pretty simple, self-explanatory. You don't have large finishers, so you have to double strike them. Not a fan of this negate. The deck actually does run 6 negates. Time Judgment. I mean, you can discard 2 to keep it in your hand, but I've never liked this negate.
No.
This card, it's literally just a free, or not free. It's just a draw one.
I think they put it in because of the Bulma super combo being very weak Shigesh.
Yeah, that's true.
So
I
I
mean,
think-
it still works against certain things. Obviously, Shigesh is banned. It works against the Pan, and then it works against Bulma.
So
it probably won't see much play still.
I think it also works off of the new red Vegito Unison.
No, because it's off super combos.
Oh,
Yeah,
off
it
super
doesn't.
combos?
Yeah.
Oh, then never mind. Never mind.
I like this card in the Masked engine, but you're not running the Masked engine in here. So it's just Self-Awakening if you need it, or removal. Card's okay. Still 15k, but it costs you 3.
What set's that for?
This is set 4, yes.
Okay. Did they even give you any set 10 cards in this deck besides the new one? We'll have to see.
I don't think they did. This card's always good. I mean, it's actually good in the mirror match, surprisingly. So,
Yeah.
pretty solid card to include in the starter deck. And then this is what actually surprised me being in the starter deck is the fact that they included these.
Staple negates.
Yeah, just staple negates, and it's gonna stay a staple negate for this deck. So don't expect to get rid of this when you're building the deck. This starter deck's actually pretty solid in terms of giving you some staples. Just lack of
Sparking
big
goes
finishers.
live as
Yeah, right. It's
like
instantly
your
alive.
turn 1, instant
Yeah.
live.
And then you're going to be going down to 6 life anyway, so it's like, cool, I take a life, but I don't care.
Exactly.
1-drop counter. That card's a pretty solid combo with Power Burst, so if you happen to have that 1 energy open still, and he was in your drop, and you Power Bursted for free, now you have 2 negates open, so if you're facing aggro, you can switch up your playstyle instantly if you wanted to include these in your deck. Next card. That's not really necessary.
I'm not a big
in the
fan of
deck.
it.
I've never liked it. It's a counter to shuffle 3 cards back in your deck, battle cards. But it's a 1-drop 15k, so I mean, I guess that's the plus side to it. But he basically has unique to himself.
Yeah.
So he's okay. He's another target for Power Burst. He did have 5k combo power at least. And this is your biggest hitter in the deck. He's at 20k. Just vanilla. I guess another Tarks for Vegix if you want to use it.
I'm
as a
surprised they didn't
target.
even put any Vegix in the deck.
Yeah, no, there's literally none at all. Oh, they did include some. Okay, cool.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they have the new counterplay for it.
Oh, cool.
Bivity, I suppose that's supposed to help your end game plan. So if you're milling and you have 20 cards in your drop area at that point, well, guess what?
Overpowered
It's a
super combo.
23k super combo that gets shuffled back in your deck. And the 1 set 10 card,
Oh my gosh.
Time Bullet. And I don't even remember what it does, so I'm going to have to read it. Counterplay. If you have a Unison card in play, if the battle card being played has an energy cost of 2 or less, it's sent to the owner's warp instead of being played. And then if you want to play it for free, you can discard 2 cards from your hand, other than this card. Not a fan of it because it's 2 or less. But yeah, that's the whole deck. I would instantly take this one out because this card is just not good in my opinion. It works against some things. I mean, Telpo's a target. It has very meh targets right now. I mean, I guess the counterplay cards are the best thing you're going to be using it on. And if you're afraid of maybe 1-drop Self-Awakeners. But past that, I would take that out personally.
Yeah.
That is actually the whole starter.
Nothing really. Yeah, I feel out of the 3, this one's probably the weakest.
This is probably the weakest pre-con, but come actually adding cards in
Adding,
and
when
it's-
the set actually drops, it's going to be a lot better.
It's the strongest out
Okay.
of the 3, no doubt.
So that was
Yeah.
the Vegix one.
Vegix,
Okay, then
rare
we're
to see
gonna
him in the meta.
now we're gonna move into another one that I think we will see in the meta. It's gonna be Vegito. So this Vegito is just mono blue. It's basically when this card attacks, draw 1. He has a cool second auto is during your opponent's turn, if one of your blue Unison cards would be placed in your drop area or one of your blue battle cards is removed from your battle area by an opponent's skill or KO, you may flip this card over, and if you do, draw 2. So it's basically a other awaken skill, which is awesome. And then his actual awaken is if you're at 4 or less, you draw 1 and then untap 1 of your energy. So a lot of people are going to abuse the first awakening skill because of the cards, the starter cards, that the 1-drop Goku obviously is a huge threat in the, on board, so they want to try and remove that first, and that's going to trigger him. But then when he awakens, again, he's a draw 1 when he attacks, And his activate battle is tap 2, blue. You choose one of your blue unison cards, and it gets plus 10k and triple strike for the battle. That's gonna be insane with the Gotenks unison that's coming out, the super rare, the dual attack.
Yeah,
And then
it will.
it's gonna be gross. And then his other one is once per turn during your opponent's turn, if your blue unison would be placed in your drop area, one of your blue battle cards is removed from your battle area by an opponent's skill or KO. You just untap one of your mono blue energy, and then you draw a card. So they really want to aim for a mono blue style deck. You could still do multicolors, I think, but they're aiming for mono colors.
Yeah, mono seems like the best way to build it, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. And then the unison is probably a really good unison for the deck. Is the Gogeta Pursuit of Power. So he's a specific cost of 2, nothing too crazy. His permanent's awesome. If your leader card is a blue Saiyan card and you have a blue Saiyan battle card in rest mode, your leader will not take damage. So they literally have to destroy your field or get rid of the unison in order to finally do damage to your to their leader. His activate main's a +0, so you choose one of your leader cards or battle cards, you switch it to rest mode, and then you add a marker to him. So basically you rest one of your blue Saiyans, and then that triggers his permanent. His -2 is you draw a card, then you choose one of your opponent's battle cards with the energy cost greater than their current energy, ignoring barrier, and place it at the bottom of the owner's deck. So I think Successor gets hit pretty hard with that. So like David said earlier, you get 2. One is this gold foiling, and the other one's just normal foiling. This is the card I was talking about, the Goku card that's gonna see. This is a staple for the Vegeta engine. So basically, when you play him, he's a 1 cost. So when he attacks, you add 1 card from your life, and it gets 11k power for the turn. And then when he gets KO'd, you look at the top 7 cards of your deck, and you choose 1 blue unison card with a specific cost of 2, and then you add it. So basically, you're searching. He's your searcher.
You can tell they tried to avoid giving him 5k powers so he didn't work with Gogeta stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like, yeah, not again.
No Gogeta. And then the other one is this Vegeta, which I'm not too knowledgeable.
Right.
If your leader card is a blue, he gains critical. Okay, so when he's KO'd, you draw a card, then you add up to 1 blue unison with specific cost of 2 from your drop area. So basically, if he dies, you get back your Gogeta. And then I guess a very interesting card that now is getting talked about a lot because of a certain combo that I don't think would work, is this Trunks. So basically, you combo him, and then you tap a blue. If your leader card's a blue Saiyan card, when he's used as a combo, you choose up to 1 blue Saiyan card with the energy cost of 2 or less in your hand, negate the skills, and play it in rest mode. Now what people are doing is they're building this with the Vegito Candy engine back from Destroyer Kings.
Yes, that's it.
So because the permanent on the Vegito Candy says that you can only play this card from your energy area, since this negates skills first and then plays it, it kind of nullifies the candy, and then you play the candy on your opponent's turn. People think that's gonna work. I have a feeling they're gonna rule it to say that's not how it's gonna work.
The pre-con, this is ideally the target you're going for.
Yeah,
just the 15k.
Basically. But I don't think it's gonna work that way as people are saying.
I hope not, but
if it is, then I mean it's a cool little gimmick.
They added not only Dimension Magic, they added Distortion.
So this one has probably the best reprinted cards in the for starters, in my opinion. So you get 2 Whis Coercions, which is basically set 1, best negate until Dimension Magic was released. Then we get 4 Raging Spirit Son Gohan. So this triggers the Gogeta. We also get My Supporters, which is a free play because of that. You can either play the 1-drop Trunks, this 1-drop Trunks, and they also included the other Trunks. They added staple 4 Dimension Magic, which is awesome.
It's amazing.
4 Quick Shift Majin Boos. This is the... You may choose 2 cards from your hand. I guess if you want to keep searching for more unison cards or more of the other
or you just
cards.
have dead cards in your hand.
I'm not a big fan of having 4 of these in the deck.
4 is overkill.
You're wide open.
I love that card.
It's nice, but I think 4.
Like it.
I don't
4
like.
Is overkill.
This is another thing I'm not too thrilled about is the 4 Krillin, the Cunning. I feel like they added this for if you're playing against if there's like starter battles and it's mirrors.
Well, even then, because it only works on battle cards and extra cards. Oh yeah, well no. Because there's nothing in the deck that untaps for you. Except for your leader.
That's true. Never mind. So I think it's just a draw 1 card.
Yeah, I think that's honestly.
The super combo is the set 10 Sun Gohan. Nothing
just
special.
A 4-life one.
This card's really good. It's a when it attacks, take a life, gets double strike.
Yeah, the first blue double striker
double strike.
that we have. We don't even have a blue.
This is probably one of my favorite cards of set 10 for like a uncommon. Is this Super Saiyan 2 Trunks? So basically, if you have a blue Unison card in play, he becomes a 2-drop. He has unique, so only one can be on field. If your leader card is blue, say in Trunks, at the end of your opponent's turn, you draw 1.
So
I won't get that, but it's the activate battle that's awesome. So it's a once per turn, you tap 2 blue, he gains 10k and triple strike. So basically, you have 2 win cons. This is one of your win cons, and then the Unison with this is the other win con. And then we get our Unison or Trunks Searcher. So this card's gonna get abused once the set drops because of the super rare Trunks counterplay that's coming out.
Yep. And you can literally add that just into this right away, and the deck's probably already super solid.
Yep. This is probably the second best that starter deck, and then the deck that David's about to show you, the last one, the Frieza, is probably the best one out of the 3.
Just because hand destruction, it's just good when there's no answer to it, and the fact that, in starter decks there definitely isn't going to be an answer to it right now. But so his auto is when he attacks, you can choose one of your Frieza army cards and place it in the drop area, and then your opponent discards 1. Actually, I believe it has to be their leader card specifically. Yeah, it does have to be their leader card. So you make them neg 1, but then they could take the 1, so they break even. So they're potentially not even negging from it. But the fact that you're guaranteeing some damage, or if they're already awakened, you are causing them to neg. But you can do that, and then if you need to, you can awaken. And on this side, he has the activate main to choose a Frieza army and make him discard 1. But instead, you choose which one to discard, which I think is way stronger than them getting to choose.
Also, you can't include Saiyans in the deck.
Right. Nope. Frieza doesn't like them Saiyans. Permanent. You can't include Saiyan cards in your deck. But
which it doesn't need. It doesn't.
No, it does not. I mean, Paragus would be nice, but it doesn't need it.
Yeah, that's probably about it. But I think it's fine.
But yeah, so if you do the activate main, you can give one of your Unisons crit, and that's really strong because you're just denying them cards in hand.
And this is a really good Unison card.
This Unison card is really only best with this leader. I mean, you can make it work with other leaders, but as permanent as if he takes a damage, you crit a life. It sucks that it doesn't go to hand, but it's
just to keep him on board because he is a big threat. He is a really big threat.
Yeah, and the fact that you can pair him with the critical, it's so good. His activate main, you discard 1 and then you draw 1. It combos with the card in the deck. We'll get there when we get there, but it's pretty solid. It's just free advantage. Then his -1, you don't generally use that one as often because you're trying to get some fuel going for this guy. But so you can choose one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 4 or less, KO it, and then you can either choose one of the Unison cards and remove a marker from it.
He's like one of the only on-board threats for other Unisons by just getting rid of a marker.
Yeah, right.
So
this card's it's best as a 2-of in the deck if you even want to run it at all. But when you play this card, you can choose one of your leader cards or green Unison cards. It gets 10k power. It's a green Frieza army. I mean, the big thing is he's Frieza army, and then you could combo him with the leader, which says if your leader card is a green Frieza card, when this card is placed in the drop area from a battle area by skill, so this skill is ideally what you pair it with. He just goes back to your hand, and it's just kind of free if you do that. I mean, it's not free because you're paying 2 for it, but you're not losing cards, and that's the nice thing. And you can attack with him too, so you get the 15k attacker. This is one of the better cards in the deck, and the next card is... Actually, this probably makes the best card in the deck, the starter deck, just because it's a searcher for a 4 or less green Frieza army, or a Unison card with the specified cost of 2, a green Unison. But when he's in the drop area, you can pay 1 green, and then if your leader card is a green Frieza, you can give either... Oh, you have to have a Unison in play too. I forgot about that. Specifically, you have to have a Unison, so don't misplay that. But you can buff your leader cards or Unison cards for the battle, giving it 10k power. And you can use that defensively for your leader card, but obviously not for your Unison because you don't have defense.
Correct.
And then The next card that's really nice, this is the card that combos with the Unison. So you discard this and you can free play it from his auto. That's basically what it says. If it's placed from your hand to the drop area by a skill, you have a green Unison in play, then you can play it. But you have to have a green Frieza leader as well. And there's only one green Frieza leader right now. So, right? There's only one green Frieza leader?
Yes.
Yeah. We have green Frieza army leaders, just not many green Frieza leaders.
No,
Only
this is
one
our
right now.
first green
Yeah.
Frieza.
And then if you have a green Frieza leader and you have a Unison card in play, you can add this card to your hand from the drop area by paying green. And you can keep recycling it, which is the great part about this. That's a 4 of in the deck. I think Zarbon's also 4 of in the deck. And then past that, it's up to you how you want to build it, honestly. I would say the Frieza Unison is a 4 of too. And then we have a set 1 reprint in here. This card's always solid with any small green Frieza cards, or not green, Frieza army cards. Just look at the top 3, choose a Frieza army card with the energy cost of 2 or less and add it to your hand. So he's just a top 3 searcher. Another target to just KO and make your opponent discard. Pretty solid. I'm not a fan of the green-yellow package. I prefer mono-green, but still works. You're 1 cold bloodless since you are running yellow. Frieza Call, which is one of the better cards in the deck, but I'm not sure how many targets you actually have. I mean, you have Ginyu, that's always a good target. Yeah, you also have a Frieza in here that it works with. Pretty solid card if you build it right. The staple Shocking Death Balls. Ideally, you want to use the new counter card coming out in the set, but
Pretty much,
this is fantastic still. It's your Shocking Death Ball staple. Then you have 4 Yamchas, which is just your draw 1. They seem to want to include draw 1 cards in all of the starter decks, so made them pretty solid. Then this one actually does come with a lot of set 10 cards. I wasn't expecting it. Comes with the new Frieza. I just love the art on this card. It's nothing too crazy, but it's pretty solid. You can ideally you can play it for 3 energy in a turn, or if you manage to keep your Frieza on board for the next turn, you have 1 energy to pay to play it from your drop area. So you can discard that with your leader, or not, your Unison effect, and then you have that for later for the 2-drop Frieza, which we'll get to in a sec. But he either chooses a battle card and KO it, or he can choose a Unison and make it lose a marker. And he's dual attack 20k, so pretty solid. And it's only when you play it. It doesn't have to be from your hand specifically. And this is the Frieza that combos with it. So when this card is removed by a skill, but it has to be an opponent's skill, not your own. So sucks there, but probably for the best, because it would literally just be draw 2s every turn for that. But you draw 2 cards, and then his activate main is you choose a Frieza card with an energy cost of 4, and then play it on top of it in active mode. So swing with this, play that 4-drop Frieza, bam. They added Birder. I can't remember if he looks at, yeah, when you switch him to active mode, you look at the top 3 of your deck and then reorder them in any order, either top or bottom of your deck. Pretty solid. I mean, nice that they added that. They added the 1-drop double striker in the deck. I like that they're starting to do this and branching out to other colors with double strike rather than keeping it in red. And pretty solid. I mean, we already have Zarbuto, but that was literally just the set before this, so it's pretty new still. Then the nice thing is you can search up the super combo with a bunch of different stuff in here. So super combo of the deck, Frieza Army, 2-drop. And it's a 4 or less life one. And then Frieza Zeno. This is not the rare from the set, this is actually just the common. But you can pay 3 energy and he gets 15k power and double strike for the turn. And then if he's removed by a skill, and when your opponent has 3 or more energy, when this card is removed from the battle area by a skill or KO'd, add up to 1 green extra card with an energy cost of 1 or less from your drop area and add it to your hand. So ideally you want to either do it with your Shocking Death Balls in the starter deck, or these. And this card's nothing too crazy. It's ideally just to get the Frieza Zeno chain going, because it's another free play if you can get it working with the green Frieza on the deck. So you put it under the 4-drop green Frieza to bring out the 4-drop green Zeno Frieza. Other than that, it's just a 5k boost. That's all it does past that. It does gain Dark Dragon Ball. We don't know what that's going to do, but has
probably
that
setting
permanent.
it up.
Yeah, it's probably being set up for future sets.
So far, we only got 2 Dark Dragon Balls.
Yeah, right. So we'll probably see, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 in the next set, or 2 or 3 in the final set coming out in the block.
Basically, I realized that the starter deck that gets hard hit the most with the Cunnings is the Vegito deck because of Dimension Magic and Whis' Coercion.
Well, even then, it's only during your own turn that.
Okay.
Yeah, so even then, it's not that bad.
Oh, never mind then.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't affect the starter decks, but all these starter decks are actually getting boosted from the upcoming sets. So not just the set 10 set, but set 11 and set 12 are supposed to boost these because these are the only starter decks for the whole block. Yeah. And I think I'm fine with that. They don't have any expert decks, but
I think the last set that's coming out will have like another extra expansion, but no starters.
Probably, yeah. But I'm most excited for this one. I think he's going to be fun. I mean, he may not be the best one out of all of them.
Meta.
Yeah, no, I think they'll all see their respective spots. I mean, he's not super strong right off the bat because there's only so limited, green Frieza
set 10 comes out.
army. I mean, we have the set 6 green Frieza army, and then we have like some that dropped here and there, and then this set. But give it some time, and I think this deck will see a lot more boosts. It just needs a good finisher.
Basically.
That's really all it needs. I run the Smoke Dragon in my deck for the SCR. You could run the Cell Zeno in your deck as well, but past that, those are the only 2 SCRs.
And we don't know what the SCRs are going to be. Yeah,
we don't know what they're going to be, so maybe
just know
we
the
see one for
Gogeta.
this deck. I mean, that would be great if each one got a respective SCR, but I bet you they won't.
No.
So I'm not keeping my hopes up for it, but those are the whole starter decks. I'm excited to play them, and hope other people are.
Yeah.
And we're going to do some starter battles with them and have some fun.
All right, well, thanks for watching, guys. See
Hope
you.
you enjoyed.